minus 4/5. Now, some students can just sit here and be like, okay, they're opposite reciprocals. So they're perpendicular. The other way to do it is to multiply the slopes together. And if you get -1, then they are perpendicular.
Yeah.
So these are perpendicular, is the short of it. All right, so I'm gonna suggest, just kind of looking ahead here time wise. I think suggest we go to 3. So same thing here. Do you want to find the slope between W and X or Y and Z? And I'll do the other one.
I'll do W and X.
Okay.
-3/7.
Let me just double check that they're 11 minus 8 over -2 minus a -9. I got 3/7. So just be careful with your signs. These are all carefully chosen to be miserable. And
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I see now. It was another tiny thing.
yeah, it's all in the details. So these would be parallel because they're the same. And they're different points, so that's kind of sufficient on that. Let's do a couple more. Let's do 6 and we'll do 6 and 8 on the next page. And if we have time, we can come back to these other ones. But kind of same thing here. Why don't you do you want to calculate the slope from I'll actually have you do U to V this time. Why don't you do the bottom one?
I got 1/11.
Yeah, let me just double check you here. -7, minus a -6, -5, minus a -11. So it is a double negative in both cases, so it might help to write that double negative as a plus. So I end up getting -1/6.
Oh my crap. I'm forgetting how to like do basic math today. It's the tiny.
Yeah, these are all pretty well designed to be challenging with the signs and
Like
nice
I
thing
realize
is
now,
that
but how did I get -5 and 11 and then get 11? like like nothing happened to 11.
that's okay. It's okay. We're so these are parallel. That's a problem. All right, number 7. I'm sorry, number 8. Take that back, number 8 here. All right, so well, let's have you do m to n.
Zero over one.
Yeah, now what does that become? What is 0/1?
Is that um not undefined, but
It ends up being 0.
yeah.
And you did m to n this time, or
Yeah.
which one? Did you do m to n?
Yeah, I did M to N.
Okay, so just to be clear here, it's actually over -1 because of the double. Well, no, I'm sorry, you're right, +1.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because 0/anything is 0. The bottom one is -4 minus a -4 over 7 minus a -8, which is also 0. So these are parallel. Okay, let's go to task 4 and talk about how to do task 4. Convert both equations from standard form. Okay. We're doing a little bit of this the other day here. We want the slope. The slope tells us whether it's parallel or perpendicular or something else. To get the slope, you really want to solve for y. Okay, and we talked about this. So I'll do B, and you can do A after I show you how to work this out. So when you subtract 10x from both sides, you always want to put that in front of the number. That's always better because that's the mx plus b form where it's um in front there. So then you divide everything by 5, all 3 terms. All right, so then it's being y equals -2x minus 6. The slope here is -2. All right, so why don't you try solving the other one, just like I did here, and tell me what you come up with, please.
All right.
What did you get for the
I get minus 2x plus 7.
okay, I agree. So y equals minus 2x plus 7. What is the slope?
Uh, minus 2.
Minus 2. So these are parallel, but they're not parallel because they have the same slope. They're parallel because they have the same slope and they have different b values. That's key because they could be the same line potentially. All right. Now the next thing that they want you to do is to graph this. Okay, and we're going to use colors here to help. So I'm going to do I'll do A in red. Um, it has a B value of 7. That means it goes through 7 on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It goes through 7 on the y-axis. And it's got a slope of -2. Do you remember what that means in terms of going up and down?
Um, Hort.
So negative
Yeah.
means you're going down. And if we write it as a fraction, which I'll do here, um, it means down to right 1. So you go to that point and you go down to right 1, down to right, so it's something like that. And
Yeah. Now I remember.
I'll finish this off in red, something like that. Now, because it's parallel to the other one, we don't have to be too, we're not looking for you being too accurate here. They're just looking for something. So let's see here. Uh, um, the other one here has a b value of -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, not really to scale, but its slope is also -2. And we know that it's parallel. So if you want to, you can almost just draw that line. Like I don't think they're trying to get you to be like super accurate with your graph. They just, that you want to show that they're going in the same direction.
All right.
Any questions on before we move on to the next one?
No.
Okay, let's go to task 5. Oh, and don't forget to circle. Make sure you do the stuff that they ask for. I didn't snip that in, but all right. So I'll do A this time. We want to again solve for Y. You can do B. Um, reason I'm choosing A is because it's got a little bit of a wrinkle there where you got the negative in front of the Y. So that stays with it. When you divide everything by -6, you can get a fraction. In this case, it's 1/3 x -1. The -2 over -6 becomes 1/3. 6 over -6 becomes -1. So go ahead and do the same thing here for B and let me know what you come up with.
All right. I got negative 3x minus 2.
Should be a fraction. Oh, I see. Yes, negative 3x. You're right. You're right. Minus 2. Good. Okay. So now the slope of the first one is 1/3. What's the slope of the second one?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. So are these the same?
No.
They're actually perpendicular, and that you either can see that because they're opposite reciprocal, or you multiply them and you get -1. Which way are you kind of leaning towards as far as how to determine that?
Kind of the flip the fraction thing.
Okay, so you're gonna flip negate. That's good. One's positive, one's negative. Okay, now the one on the left, the b value is -1. The b value on the right is -2. And to sketch the graph, just do your best to kind of, I don't know why they didn't give you a nice grid, but they just give you a lot of open space here. So let's do the color coding thing again here. So the first one, you start at -1 there, and the slope tells you 1/3 tells you you're going to go right one, up one, and then right 3. You can label that on there, did something like that. And then the last one here on the right, -3/1, down 3, right 1, but you're starting at -2. So you're going down 3, right 1. And it should roughly look like they hit at a 90-degree angle. Hopefully that you could make it look like that,
Yeah.
something. Okay, let's do one more of these, then we'll switch back to those slope problems.
Alright.
Let's do a task 6 here. Okay. Which one do you want to solve? Do you want to solve A or do you want to solve B?
I'll go for A.
Go for A. All right. I'll work on B.
I got mm, yeah, I got uh -1/2x minus 1.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so are these parallel or perpendicular?
Parallel.
They're parallel. Okay. So on the left here, the slope is -1, the B value is -1. On the right, it's -1, B value of -4. Will you try graphing these, and then I'll put something up on the screen. You can just verify that what you have is, reasonable.
Got it.
So let me do a graph here. So A, it looks something like this, kind of down right to something like this. That's A. And then B is going to be just a little bit further down. It starts at down here and it's something like this. Hopefully you got something similar.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on that before we go back to some of those slope problems? Because I do think there's some issues there we need to look at or have you try a few more of. We
Yeah,
might be able to get through all of it, but
let's go to that.
okay. So we're gonna go back to number 2 on the other ones that talk about given the ordered pairs. So let me snip this one in. I'll write the slope formula again. I want you to do JK and let me know what you come up with before we proceed to the other one. So just take your time, work on your signs. How are you doing on this one?
Pretty good. Um,
What did
I
you
get
come
10
up with?
over negative 5.
10
Uh,
over -5, good. And what's that reduced to?
negative 2.
Good. All right, so do LM now. And you should get something around like it should probably be, well, I couldn't say that. Just work through it. Hopefully it's reasonable.
I got 13 over 3.
Let's take a look here. 3 minus 9. Does that look right to you? I'm guessing you have something slightly different
Yeah,
because
I was
this
looking
ends
at the wrong one.
yeah, it's so easy to do. This ends up being 2. I can't do this for you digitally, but like one of the things I used to do is put sticky notes over the ones I'm not using for students or kind of like block out all the other stuff that's there.
Yeah, I should cross them out.
Or yeah, or when you're done using one, then grab the next one.
Okay, so 2, it's 2. 2 and negative 2.
Yeah, so are these parallel? Are these
Yes.
the same slope? Are they exactly the same?
No.
No, so they're not parallel. They're perpendicular if they're opposite reciprocals. Yeah, the flip. Are these opposite reciprocals?
Yes.
So they remember you're flipping the fraction, like it would become 1/2 and then negated.
Yeah.
But that's not this. That's why sometimes it's better to do the multiplication of them. 2 is 2 times negative 2. Does that equal -1? The answer is no. So these are not perpendicular. So it's kind of like no,
Okay.
no. Oh, it must be the other one, which is neither. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at number 4. So I'll be kind here. I'll just put P and Q up and then I'll snip in the other ones. Why don't you find the slope from P to Q for us, please?
All right. Four.
Okay, so let's see here. -3, -13, -9, minus a -5. So I get -16 over -4, which is 4. Very good. And then I will snip in just the R and S. Maybe that will help here. And somehow you want to just ignore the other ones if you can.
Okay. -1/4.
Yeah, let me just, so we got 7 -8 over 11 -7, so -1/4. How do these compare now? Are they the same?
They are not. They are the
The
opposite.
definite, yes,
The
opposite reciprocal.
reciprocal. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So these are perpendicular. Uh, very good. Let's have you, yeah, let's keep going to these. I'd like you to just get a couple more. You're on a good run here. Let's have you try 5. I'm gonna snip all the numbers in that. I'll let you just try to cover up the ones you don't want, or uh, calculate the slope from E to F. I'll do G to H this time.
All right. 8/5.
for e to f?
Yeah.
Okay, -1 minus 9. Yeah, so it's 8/5. And then this one down here ends up being -16/10, which is -8/5. How are those related? Are they the same?
Almost the same. Just
Yeah,
the
it's got to be either perfectly the same or not. There's no in between.
not perpendicular, so it neither.
So they're perpendicular if they're flipped. They got to be flips of each other.
Yeah. So it
They're
wouldn't.
not that it's just neither in this one.
All right.
Let's go back and do one of the other line problems. Let's do I guess it's task 7. A lot of repetition here. That's okay. So I want you to try solving the first one for y. Let me know what you come up with.
All right. I got 1/4x plus 7.
Give me the, okay, there you go. So 1/4x plus 7 like that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That is correct. The one on the right here ends up being 10y equals -40x minus 10. Divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 10. Y equals -4x minus 1. The slope on the one on the left is 1/4. The slope on the one on the right is -4. How do those slopes relate? Are they, well, there are only two options on this one. Are those parallel or are they perpendicular?
Perpendicular.
They're perpendicular, yeah. So that means they kind of look like 90-degree angles when you graph them here. So grab that. Well, you don't have to. I have to grab the graph. You want to do your best here to kind of make it look reasonable. I don't really give myself much room for this. Um, the one on the one on the left here, I'm going to go up to 7. It's actually hard to count and talk at the same time. It's really hard. And then you can start getting it depends how accurate teacher wants to be, but something like that for the, oops, I went the wrong way. You've got to go up 1/4, and then up 1/4, something like that. So it looks something like that. And then -1, and then slope of 4. So this one's a little bit different. It's down 4, right 1. You're starting at -1. So something like that. Again, you just it should at least look somewhat like they're 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's perception, not not necessarily the most accurate, but like make it kind of look the right way.
You got it.
Fantastic. So looks like you'll have a few problems here to finish up on your own. But I assume this is due tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other two that we didn't do are the same. Uh, uh, the one more of those slope problems. So uh, uh, just be careful with those signs, kind of thing.
All right.
Any other thoughts before we close out today?